By now, you may know me as Oni, maybe Onyx, maybe OnixOnigiri, or if you've been around long enough, maybe even Onion, if you were there for when somebody misread my name like that. Now, my name is OnixOnigiri, or Oni for short, and I'm a variety streamer on Twitch, and I also create short-form content on TikTok. One might still wonder, who is OnixOnigiri, and where did she come from? Well, today I'm here to tell you just that. I was born and raised in Florida. In fact, I have been here all 25 years of my life. I have always been a creative, whether that be drawing, writing, or taking photos. Aside from my joy for creation, I enjoyed playing video games in my spare time. I remember my first experience with content creation, except it wasn't exactly what you may be thinking. I had gotten an iPod one year for Christmas, and of course I played games on it, but I also spent time recording imaginary little YouTube videos in my room, which my stuffed animals were my viewers. These were the times I was getting into YouTube. Thinking about these creators is honestly very nostalgic. Smosh, Epic Rap Battles, Ryan Higa, Suzy, and the list goes on. I just sat there and thought what these people are doing is so cool, and I want to do that. But I didn't think I had it in me, so I just watched. My childhood was honestly a very vulnerable and tough time for me, and so my creative outlets were basically my escape. They made me feel free, and I really enjoyed doing them, but the place that I was in and some things that had limited me kind of led me into a space where I never really thought that I could do something like this for an audience. To put it into perspective, I was that really loud, talkative, bubbly kid that loved to socialize and just try to be like friendly with everybody, and I would end most days at school with my little like how'd you behave card flipped from green to red because of that. And over the years, that just continuously happening, as well as just having to hear, that you're just way too talkative and that, you need to be quiet, stuff like that. It kind of subconsciously gets to you and shapes you as you grow. And I very quickly became that kid that was afraid to kind of just express themselves and speak when they wanted to, and I became just very reserved, and that of course seeped into my teenager years, where I then found myself having to just deal with hearing remark after remark about things that I just couldn't change. I would have people telling me that my interests were just weird. I looked weird, I sounded weird, my voice was too soft, too monotone, I sounded like a man. I would have people that asked me, why do you have so much acne? Why do you have hair on your face? Aren't you supposed to be a girl? And these things just also shape how you see yourself. At that age group especially, it's just a very vulnerable time, and subconsciously I kind of grew into a headspace that I wouldn't be able to do these things that I was truly interested in. And I will say though, at the end of the day, I did come home to always just kind of escape into the world of gaming, and that just kind of furthered my love for it and the community of gaming and the creators that I did enjoy watching. It wasn't until I became an adult that I started to actually think about trying streaming. Now, at the time, I really didn't know too much about Twitch, as I was still really heavily into like the YouTube gaming community and just YouTube creators in general, but a door opened up and I decided to dip my toes in. I started using my Xbox to stream, and my phone to check my chat. Of course, I was quite literally just streaming to the friends I gamed with, but through that I found out I did actually enjoy it. I didn't take it seriously and devote time to it until I got my first PC in the summer of 2021. The streams were inconsistent and scuffed to say the least, but I was having fun. I managed to hit affiliate after some time, which I remember was so surreal. It was like that type of goal you set in place, but you never really let yourself get too excited for it because internally you thought it would never happen. But it did. I was so happy and so ready to learn more. Now, aside from starting to stream, I was also really getting into TikTok at the time, and of course the trends that I just partook in were like lip syncing videos and like really just simplistic like photo with text types of trends. But starting those things and like getting comfortable with them and just enjoying them really made me want to dive in to content creation. Unfortunately, I was hit with an involuntary hiatus. At that time, I had just graduated with my associate's degree, and straight away after that, I went into school to become an esthetician. Now, between esthetician school and my job, which of course was full-time, 7 days a week, I was basically either at school or I was at work for 8 hours a day. There was no in-between, there's no break time or anything for just a little bit over half a year, and I think within that span of like 7 or so months, I only had 2 days off. It was really unhealthy for me, but despite all of that, I was still interested in my creative outlets, and I still, took that time to basically just research and look further into things. I also had plenty of time to really start watching more gaming content, even live streams, and I really got into doing that. This led me to coming across Catliante, and I was instantly hooked. Her content was super informative, entertaining, and her advice content that she made for streamers was super beginner friendly. She, alongside the other creators I mentioned before, play a big role as my inspirations. Since then, I've developed a schedule, a brand, and a small community who I hold dear to me. I am motivated by not only my community but my fellow creators that I've met along the way, and my friends who also take part in content creation. I get to create things I love, reach people while doing so, and witness those around me also do amazing things that make them happy. It is so heartwarming for me to see people being their authentic selves, and I know my inner child is happy to see that I am now doing the same for myself. For me, with content creation, every one of my creative outlets ties together, and I continuously get to do more, try more, and learn more. I hope you guys have enjoyed learning a little more about who I am and how we have gotten to this exact moment right here. The adventure will continue, and I hope to see you come along with me on this journey. Thank you for watching. Bye!